more, man.
It's a joke. Okay, so we are now back in session. Doug, did you want to speak to the motion?
So what is the motion? Just to remind me there.
Trevor?
Motion that the draft map to be brought back to the next BBOC committee meeting.
Okay, yeah, so I thinking about it a little bit more, I think I am leaning towards saying that it is the courteous thing to leave the draft for the next committee so that they have their opportunity to buy into it themselves. I know it's kind of, you don't really feel ownership if something is just handed to you rather than you having a chance to put your, at least your input on it, or at least your acknowledgement of it. But certainly it would be a little slow, I think. It always is that way when new things start. So I think I'm going to vote, at least I'll vote to go for this motion on the assumption that Heather will be here next month. And I will roll the dice on that.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Yeah, Heather and then Jan.
While I agree with you, Doug, it just dawned on me while we were getting these meetings set up that this wayfinding was included in an operational business case that we put forward to council. So there's $5,000 for signage expenditures. And if this does get hung up with the next group, I may not have time to expend that money before the end of the year. I have 2 months. I should be able to get that done. Just a risk.
You just need to communicate that to the next group.
Okay.
Well, when does the next group start? Because does it start in November?
Correct.
Oh, okay. That should be fine then.
Okay, thank you, Heather. Jan?
I'm back and forth on it too. I like Beth's comment. The guy who makes maps, I always believe in drafts, but I'm still leaning towards not, because of the fact I could see it the opposite of what Doug is saying. It could be polite and nice not to hand them some work and let them start fresh, because they may want to go back in and look at the map with all the letters, the AA, the BB, and learn all of that stuff before they start commenting on this kind of, like, they have to get re-educated on everything Beaver Boardwalk. And if she's in a tight timeline, I'm 100% agree with you that a draft should be, but in this case, I think the friendlier thing to do is to nail it shut.
Trevor?
I like Doug's idea. The polite thing to do is give the next committee meeting an opportunity to look at the map and chew it over and put some thought into it. But I'm also proud of the work and the time that this committee's put into it, and I think we just be kicking the can down the road. And I really don't think there'd be enough time for you to spend the money before year end, before the next committee meeting really gets a chance to provide any feedback. So I'm probably going to vote against this.
Okay, thanks, Trevor. Anyone else want to speak to it?
I think Jan's and Trevor's comments there have swayed me a little bit. And that deadline that Heather mentioned, that's yeah, because I remember what it was like 2 years ago. We really didn't do anything the first 2 months. We even couldn't even figure out how to do motions, honestly. So
Okay, thanks, Doug. Yeah.
Yeah, Heather, would you, if you did a draft, would you get that to this next committee before the committee meeting? So people could look at it, like, rather than just pound it right.
I can't speak to that right now, Beth, because our mapping person is not with us right now. I might have to outsource it or find another person. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to shake out this week. I might have a better answer next week.
I'd speak to that too. That would be tough. That group wouldn't even have had their inaugural orientation meeting in the beginning of map that they're supposed to review and consider. So it would be tough. There's no one else in queue, so I'll speak to it. I'm not in favor of the motion either. I'd like to close the book on this one. I think a new group, when they come on board, is going to have a lot to learn, to get up to speed, timelines, and also I think it respects the work that this group did to get it to this point, and I think it's a kind of a fitting end for this group to be able to close the book on it and then at some point down the road, point to the maps and say, that's what we did. You know, somebody has to.
Somebody has to look. I was gonna
That's
say
good.
at the time, but.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
We can't, we're in the middle of
another
the motion,
until this motion's dealt with, so. Okay, anyone else want to speak to the motion? Okay, seeing no one, Trevor, if you could read it back.
Motion that the draft map to be brought back to the next GBOC committee meeting.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. So we'll call that to question then. All those in favor, please indicate. Okay, and opposed? Okay, and that is defeated 1-5 with Beth voting in favor and everyone else opposed. Okay, so administration does still need some direction on what to do with the map moving forward.
I'll make a motion that administration should basically start making signs.
Okay. Can I massage that a little bit for you? I recommend that administration. The committee approve the Maxwell Lake Beaver Boardwalk wayfinding plan with amendments as discussed at the October 12th BBOC meeting.
And administration should start making signs.
That basically says start making signs, yeah. Correct?
Correct.
Are you okay with that, Doug, then?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Your motion, okay, thank you, Doug. Yep, we'll just make sure Trevor's got it captured. We'll open the floor.
Motion, the committee approves the wayfinding sign plan with amendments as discussed at the October 12th, 2023 BBOC meeting.
That good for you, Doug?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, floor is open. Any comments, questions? Beth?
I just, I guess that was the action item, just to this motion just completes the action item. That's why we need.
Yep, it's basically the action item
Yeah.
with the amendments that we discussed. Right? Yep. Okay. Anyone else want to speak to the motion? Okay. There's no one else wants to speak. We will call.
Oh, sorry, I just one clarification. So that was all the amendments we discussed. That was the color coding and the differentiation between Boardwalk and the trail, and then the very poetic names for the 3 loops. You were going to get your best people on that. Okay, perfect.
Correct. Yeah, all the other motions that were made regarding the mapping tonight. Yep. Okay. Anyone want to speak to it? Okay, seeing no one, we'll call it to question then. Trevor?
Motion that the committee approves the wayfinding sign plan with amendments as discussed at the October 12th, 2023 BBOC meeting.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. Committee, all those in favor? And any opposed? No. Okay, that was carried unanimously then. And yeah, my apologies before we moved on. We should have.
You want me to do it?
Ended the time. Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that this meeting be extended
Beyond 8:30.
beyond 8:30.
Okay. Thank you, Jan. So there is a motion to extend beyond our allotted time of 8:30. Any comments or questions? Okay, seeing no comments or questions, all those in favor? Okay, that's carried unanimously, so we're extending beyond 8:30. Okay, is there anything further for action item 4.1 from committee? Heather, are you good with 4.1?
Yeah.
Okay, just before, no, that's okay. we'll do 5.0 next meeting date. 5.1 to be determined pending organizational meeting. So next week, Tuesday, is council's annual organizational meeting where council sets boards and committees. Sets the, appoints board members. So pending the outcome of that meeting will determine when next meeting date is. I think tentatively we can assume that it'll be pretty much the same first Thursday. No, second Thursday of each month, but that will be determined, and you will be sending out an invitation to all the new committee members once they're appointed after next week's meeting.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, any comments or questions about that? Okay, seeing nothing. One thing that I did notice was neglected to add to the agenda, but I want to make sure we have an opportunity to do it because it's our last meeting, is the roundtable discussion. So,
Sorry.
sorry, but I do want to make sure we have an opportunity to roundtable. So, any volunteers who wants to start?
No, it's been a pleasure, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was some tough calling there. I would have liked to have seen us maybe move faster, but it is what it is. I hope that the next group has fun with it. And I wanted to thank you, work. And I would like to thank our chairperson. Thank you, especially since a lot of us were new to the whole meeting, Roger, and meeting stuff. Yeah, that's it, I think.
All right, thank you, Jan. Trevor?
Yeah, same thing, just thanks to everyone, especially Heather and Chad and Albert. Thanks for everyone's time. This has been interesting and a big learning experience for me, and I've enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you, Trevor.
Can I just add one thing? Kevin sent an email
He did.
and he made that suggestion of being able to submit thoughts on the committee and stuff like that. I think that's a valuable idea. It might help future committees, stuff like that. So
I'm not sure how we would execute that, but I did note that, and I'm gonna talk to our legislative services coordinator and see how she would wanna do that process and whether that should also be shared with council potentially. So we'll see what comes.
Okay, well, thanks. Do you want to go, Beth?
Yeah, thanks, everyone. We've got a pretty special feature in town, and I think everybody showing some interest in maintaining it and offered all their time to do it. So I really appreciate the work everybody's done.
So, thank you, Beth. Bill, do you want to go next?
Yeah, it's been a great time. I enjoyed this, and it's I'm just enjoying meeting everybody and getting to know everybody, and it's it definitely a learning curve. And I appreciate everybody's time, and I like being here with these committees, and it's hope to do it again.
So, thanks, Bill. Okay.
I'll echo the comment that if you have some sort of lessons learned template, that'd be nice. You know, you could put a couple of bullet points in there. I think that would be definitely valuable. It certainly would have helped me. I think if we had something similar going into it 2 years ago, I think that would have been useful for me. I did start this because I used things like this as PD hours for my engineering, but I did find it an enjoyable experience, and I enjoyed meeting all you folks as well. And even though I only did 2 in person because of my work schedule, but I'm also delighted that Heather, you did make a specification. Thank you very much for that. I really hope that gives you guys value in the end in terms of making Boardwalk a little bit more templatable.
Thanks, Doug. Heather?
I just want to say this is the first committee that I have been with from their infancy, right? Other groups that I've been the admin liaison for, they've kind of already been off to the races by the time I was asked to sit at the table. So you guys, it's a lot of heavy lifting. There was a lot of work to wrap your head around that had been done prior to, and a lot of things that we needed to move our way through and understand and also move past. And I just thank all of you for the grace. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Awesome, thank you. For myself, I think this is a very valuable council committee. I think the Beaver Boardwalk and Maxwell Lake are community assets that the community should be proud of. And I'm very happy that you all put your names forward to step forward to volunteer to sit on this committee. I appreciate the passion that you guys all have for it and whatever personal reasons that you brought for wanting to be a part of this committee. It has been contentious at times, but I think we've done some good work. We've given some great recommendations to council and given some good recommendations to administration. I think the Beaver Boardwalk is in a much better place today than it was when you guys started with this group. And I want to take the opportunity on behalf of council and myself as the chair to thank all of you for putting your time forward to be able to do this over the last 2 years. I don't know who's put their name in to sit on again. I hope some of you did. If you did, I hope you're appointed at next week's organizational meeting. If not, again, I just want to thank you one more time for everything you've done over the last 2 years. I think the work that this committee has done is foundational, and it's going to set this committee up for success in the future. And the Maxwell Lake area is only going to get better, and it's going to do a lot to you guys as the inaugural group who got this going and kicked it off and did all the heavy lifting. So thank you. Good.
Pizza?
So is there anything further from anyone on the committee? Oh, and to you, Bill, and we look forward to seeing you back. You will definitely be back at the next meeting and moving forward. So thanks for that.
Yeah,
Is there
welcome. Thank you. Thank
Is
you.
there anything else that any of the committee members want to add before we make a motion to adjourn?
Right, just say good luck to the next committee.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Trevor. Okay, if there's nothing further from committee, there is just one more motion that we need before this group wraps up.
Who's gonna make the last one?
Jan,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the last meeting of the first session committee. What else?
thank you, Jan. My motion to adjourn. All those in favor? And we are adjourned. That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.